Oh, hello there. Don't keep yourself from making the content that you want to just because you don't know which camera to use. My name is Zach, and I'm gonna break this down in the world's fastest mini masterclass. So be ready to pause and take notes if you need it, because we're not slowing down. First, grab something to take notes with. Make 2 columns, one for features you need, and the other for cameras or gear that offer those features. Below that, list accessories that could help you meet those needs. Just don't forget to factor in their cost. The first feature is convenience. If you're doing things like vlogging or moving around a lot, you might want a small, convenient camera that you can take anywhere. There are some small vlogging cameras that work awesome for this, or even just a modern smartphone will work wonders for many beginners. If you're into live streaming, the most convenient option is often webcams, but be warned that they really don't often have great quality unless you're willing to drop a lot of money into it. So if you're looking to get a more professional look using what you already have, look into videos explaining how to do things like use your smartphone or other cameras as a webcam. Second feature is background blur. If you're going for a really professional look, a lot of times background blur can help you achieve that. However, with a professional look usually comes increased prices. Bigger sensors equals more blur. Mirrorless and DSLR cameras are great for background blur. Just make sure to look for a lens with a low number f-stop. Smartphones are usually sharp though and can't get a good background blur unless you want to apply a fake background blur, but it never looks the same. So consider if that's something that you really need for your content, because you are going to have to pay for it. Third feature is stabilization. Sometimes a handheld look is what you want if you want your content to feel extra authentic and natural, but most of the time too much shakiness makes a video just feel bad to watch. To get more stabilization, you've got different options. There's stabilization built into camera bodies, there's stabilization built into camera lenses, which are for mirrorless or DSLR cameras, or you've got digital stabilization, which will crop your image a little bit and lower the quality, and you might still get distorted footage. So try to look into a solution that will give you stabilization without having to resort to digital or fake stabilization. There's also gear that can help with this that we're going to talk about later. The fourth feature is low light performance. If you're filming indoors or at night, you're really going to want to consider how the camera performs in low light. Bigger camera sensors and lower f-stop numbers will help you get more light in your videos. Smartphones are okay with this, and the new phones are definitely a lot better than the old ones, but there's always a limit. The fifth feature is a flip screen. If you're filming yourself, a flip screen is awesome because you get to see if you're in frame and that your lighting's okay. Touchscreen is a nice bonus too, and you'll get these features in smartphones if you're using the selfie camera, which is often worse than the front camera, but can still be sufficient for most people. Or there are mirrorless or DSLR cameras or camera recorders that have screens that you can rotate and flip out so you can see yourself that way. Feature number 6 is autofocus. Bad autofocus will ruin your video. If you're taking a video of something that's perfectly still, then you can get your focus right the first time and not worry about it. But for the most part, something is always moving. So make sure to look up videos of real world tests for your camera to make sure that it's got good enough autofocus to track your face and meet your needs for whatever you're doing. Feature number 7 is a little bit of a geeky one, but it's image quality options. If you're into color grading, which is editing the colors in your video, and you want to make sure that everything looks as professional as possible, look for high bit rates, log color profiles, or 10-bit color. I know that sounds really techie, but those features are things that just help you edit the colors later without it looking so weird. And bonus tip, if you're doing photography, look for a camera that can take raw images. Quick check-in, make sure that you're taking these notes so at the end of the video, you can have a good idea of what you're actually wanting to get. Another feature is resolution. 1080p is a resolution that most people will be watching your video in. 4K is even better, but it's mostly just used for people on 4K screens, which honestly won't be a majority of your viewers probably, or it's used to zoom in or crop in to your video without losing quality. 6K or 8K is usually overkill unless you're cropping in a ton or pulling very high resolution still images from your video. Don't look at the number of the resolution alone though. One camera's 1080p video can be very different than another's, so look up examples of what it actually looks like before buying. Ninth, we have money. You're always going to want to consider how much you have to spend right now. You can always start small with cheaper equipment, then as your content goes somewhere and starts bringing you income, income, invest more into yourself. Remember, it's not just the camera. Many people, especially those who want professional quality, will need camera lenses, a tripod, a microphone, lights, spare batteries, memory cards, a gimbal. All of these things add up. So you're going to want to be really conscious about how much you're actually going to be spending. If you're really on a tight budget, smartphones, especially newer smartphones, are honestly great tools to start your content. 10, we have recording limits and overheating. Some cameras will stop recording at 30 minutes, or they'll overheat in high temperature or after recording for a long time. So just make sure to check your reviews, especially if you film long stuff like interviews or podcasts or stuff outdoors. 11th, we have frame rate. For most people, you will only need to record in 24 or 30 frames per second, unless you're doing anything in slow motion. 60 frames per second is good for just a little bit of slow-mo. If you're going to do extreme stuff, you'll want 120 FPS or more, just depending on your use case. But remember that high frame rates can mean lower quality unless you're on a really high-end camera, but that's not too big of a concern unless you're really professional about it. But like I said, 24 or 30 FPS is absolutely fine and normal. 12th, we have battery life. Swapping batteries every 20 minutes can get old really fast. Check to see if you're going to need to replace the battery or how long it can last on a single charge, or if you can shoot while having it plugged in. 13 is audio, and this is huge. Bad audio kills videos. Internal mics, which are the mics built into normal cameras, are mediocre, usually bad. External mics, which are cameras that aren't built into your camera, make a big difference. So you could want to make sure that your camera has a microphone input, or you can plan to get a separate recording device. I'm going to be making another video covering just this topic because it is huge and very important. Sometimes bad video is forgivable, but bad audio is unbearable. 14, last we're gonna talk about accessories. Accessories can add features to different cameras. For stabilization, add a gimbal. Need to film in low light? Add a light. Recording for a while? Have extra batteries. There are lots of accessories, and I'm going to put a few on the screen here. Just keep in mind the cost and which cameras are able to use those accessories. And just remember that there's no perfect camera. Check your notes, check what features you need, check what features are available on certain cameras out on the market, and then when those two things combine and you can find a solution in your budget, then that will be the perfect camera for you. And that's it for the video. If you think you'd like to see what I've got coming up next, feel free to subscribe and it'll help you see what I'm going to be posting. I'm not gonna ask you to say anything weird in the comments, but if you did appreciate what I'm doing, then a comment and a like really does go a long way to helping me know that you're really enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm going to be continuing to make more of it. Or if you've noticed something that you think I can improve on, or if you have some wisdom of your own to share, comments are the perfect place for those. I'm gonna go through and read all of those so I can make sure that I'm producing the best possible content for you guys. Now, go do something awesome. Go! Shoo! Go!